Hey there, my name is Waleed Matt. I go to Glen Forest Secondary School. I am currently in grade 10. We'll be moving on to grade 12 next year. Now, the main role of the Minister of Finance or the Director of Finance for next year is to make sure that finances are constantly maintained as well as organized. There are two accounts for the PSPC. One of the accounts will be at the school of the Director of Finance and the other account will be at the Peel Board. So these two accounts must always be maintained and constantly updated. It will be your role to update the executive councils whenever needed or requested, as well as your supervisors. Now, making sure that you're organized, you have time management skills, and that you understand how a budget works is extremely important for the Director of Finance. The moment conference, student senate, or GMs begin to kick in, checks need to be written for different expenses like speakers or like the venue, as well as sweaters. Now, making sure that those checks are written, those invoices are present, and that you have a good relationship with your finance secretary is definitely something that's extremely important. Now, for reimbursements, they basically occur when a student purchases an item and is expected to be paid back by the budget that is present in one of those two accounts, usually the account at your school. So what will happen is you will take the receipt or the invoice, staple that back to a check request, and make sure that a check is written out to that student. Now, in addition to the checks for expenses as well as the checks for reimbursements, deposits must also be made. And these deposits can either be check or cash, making sure that the school deposits this money, puts it in the PSPC account, and can be used for further expenses and further reimbursements. Now, this whole process does take a lot of work and takes a whole lot of organization. Throughout weeks before and weeks after conference, myself and a few other executives had to help out, making sure that all deposits were being made, all reimbursements were being made, and that the budget was completely balanced. And that's something that's extremely important for the PSPC, because without a balanced budget, without a budget that can rely on different circumstances and different unexpected possibilities, the events cannot occur. So, making sure that a budget is organized, a budget is kept, well maintained, and a budget is constantly updated is something that's extremely important, for events to run successfully, like conference and like student senate. So, other than that, other than the finances, the Director of Finance really has to focus on, presenting themselves during meetings, making sure that they offer a whole lot, they offer their opinion, they offer during discussion, and even other roles, when they don't have as much work going on. So it is a very seasonal workload, as most of your work will be done during student study at a few GMs as well as conference. So during your off time, I do recommend you to help other executives and help out with other roles. So making sure that you're a constant voice in the council, making sure that the finances are updated is definitely something that I encourage, a lot of people that are applying for Director of Finance to have. Other than that, I encourage you to apply, for executive, and if not for executive, for a conference next year, and if not for conference, just to come out, to our GMs. I look for another great year of the PSPC, and I hope to see a lot of you next year. Thank you so much.